The NWA World title match this month is somewhat a continuation of the Sting Abyss stuff, as those two men are involved. We had a third, Christian Cage.
But he's kind of been involved tangentially even through the last month.
That's true. Even when he was like doing a pay-per-view program with AJ while also involved with
the
Rhino.
AJ thing felt like out of place because it was still the Sting thing, you know?
Yeah, because he was doing two separate things. He was doing AJ, he was doing Rhino, while the more important thing he was kind of really doing was the Sting thing.
Yeah, because he wanted to get the shot.
November 23rd, Impact. Abyss, the new NWA World Champion, opens the show, enters the Impact Zone. James Mitchell says he stands before you like a proud father with the new NWA Champion. Says to Sting, it's better to laugh with the sinners than cry with the saints. Despite all Sting's preaching, he's no different from Mitchell and Abyss. Asks Sting to be honest that he got into wrestling to wallow in all of its pleasures, just like the rest of us. The crowd then chant, "We want Sting." He invites Sting to come home for good. Sting's music hits as a man that definitely looks like Sting hits the ring. He runs off Abyss with the bat and reveals, oh my god, it's not Sting, it's Christian Cage.
There was a part of me I was like, yeah, Sting doesn't normally dress like this. I was like, is he doing a new thing?
Sting has decided to drip himself out in the latest 2006 attire.
Yeah, good on him.
Christian asks if this is what he has to do to get a title shot around here. He refers to Abyss as the mass or word. Not the first time he will this month.
And you've been saying it all week now.
Listen, you're the phased watcher around here, so don't you dare throw that at me.
I'm just saying. Ever since you watched this show.
Christian suggests he's going to take Sting out to take his rematch. Sting descends from the rafters onto the announce desk. Sting says he's going to get his rematch and he'll happily go through Christian tonight, so says, see you later tonight. Christian demands Sting put his number one contender shot on the line. Sting says it's showtime as we crash to the opening titles, which is presumably accepting.
I would assume, because showtime implies action.
I do love a crash to opening titles. I do love like an opening segment. Yeah, we'll go do Sting, a Christian, world title on the line, main event, a world title shot on the line. And then you get the opening titles. It's like, that's TV. That's TV, baby.
That's TV, baby.
So main event for the first time ever, free on television, Sting and Christian.
Kind of crazy.
Yeah, they're just throwing shit out. That like TNA is very conservative about what they put on television as TV main events. They've been very conservative.
I think every promotion is.
And too conservative, would you say?
Yes. I think every promotion inherently is, except WWE, because they don't give a fuck. I think it's a part of, it comes down to sometimes how many quote-unquote stars you believe you have.
Yeah.
That, like, you're less than willing to, like, do big star versus star matches on TV. But, like, my thing is always, like, it's TV. You don't have to have clean finishes. You know, you can have big, like, matches with stars in them and then do bullshit and not lose anything. As long as your pay-per-views are, like, more protected.
Like, I do understand the appeal of being like, let's save the first Christian Sting match for pay-per-view. I don't think, like, I think we overrate the meaning of first-time ever matches.
I don't think, like, a first-time ever match is inherently a big deal.
Yeah.
I think it's up to you to make it feel like a big deal.
Yeah, for sure. So, like, you can throw something, like, the downside is we actually never get a proper Sting Christian match. We get another TV match in 2007, and that's it. That's the two singles matches. Like, that's the problem is we ultimately never get this on pay-per-view. But,
yeah.
I think we get too precious about, like, well, we've got to protect that match for when we do it down the line. Whereas I think you can do it now and do it down the line, and it'll still mean as much if you do it well.
Yeah. I don't think, like, just because people have wrestled once before, it ever, like, it doesn't kill the idea of the match necessarily.
Yep. Sting stalks Christian down to the ring during his entrance and jumps him to start the match. Jim Cornette joins commentary. TNA says that LAX will defend the tag titles against Kurt Angle and Petey next week. That's where they announced that here. Sting fires up, and him beating Christian's ass is very enjoyable. I really like the Sting comeback and Christian just like bumping around. We didn't talk about it in the fucking humongous main event too, but there was an Angle and Christian segment that was very similar in that match too.
Yeah, Christian is, you know, he's such a great, like, backing off, like, shithead heel.
Mm-hmm. And when you get, like, stars of the caliber of Angle and Sting just beating his ass, it's very satisfying.
Especially, like, an old-time babyface like Sting.
Yep. Ref gets bumped. Christian rakes Sting's eyes. Sting reverses the Unprettier into the Scorpion Death Drop and locks in the Death Lock. Christian taps, but there is no referee to see it. A hooded man emerges from the crowd. He attacks Sting and reveals himself to be the debuting Tyson Tomko.
Fuck yes!
Tomko is
My
here.
childhood.
Tomko, give me a beat.
I'm very excited. I'm excited to see Tyson Tomko, and I'm excited to see him with Christian. And also, it means we're very close to AJ.
Yes, we're Christian Coalition is imminent. Tomko, like, this is like, I think people forget what a kind of what if Tomko was at this point. Because, like, he gets over at one point as a singles guy. He's doing great work in New Japan with Giant Bernard as, like, the original Bernard and Anderson team. Like, that it's the same thing. They've basically changed Tomko for Carl Anderson. He's doing really good work as, like, a career renaissance outside of WWE, kind of proving that he's not just, like, your stock WWE big man who has no value by himself.
Yeah, like the Terminal 2004 guy.
Yeah, I always, he's much later. Mason Ryan is always my example of, like...
I always think of, like, just, like, anyone that was in La Resistance.
Yeah, Rob Conway.
Like, just Rene Dupree, Rob Conway.
Sylvain
just, like,
Grenier.
Exactly, just all these, like, big, jacked up dickheads, you know?
So Tomko drops Sting with a press slam into a fallaway slam. One of my favorite moves. It always looks great when you just drop him down out of the press into the fallaway. Cornette enforces that Tomko doesn't work here as Tomko drops Sting with an Argentine neckbreaker and we go off the air. Tomko has arrived in TNA.
I'm excited, man. I like Tomko.
I'm excited for Christian Coalition stuff because, as I said, like, this is an era of TNA I have not rewatched. Like, this is the year I started watching, so, like, basically everything from now on, bar, like, little bits and bobs, because I haven't done rewatches of TNA from after 2007. So, like, I haven't watched this stuff in 18 years in its completion, rather than popping in and out for, like, social clips and stuff from individual shows. So I'm excited to watch all, like, the Christian Coalition stuff again.
Yeah, like, this is sort of an era of TNA you just remember, you know?
Yep. Christian Cage has been pushing hard for TNA to bring in Travis Tomko from just about the time Christian started. The idea had always been for 2006 that Christian would win the title, turn heel on Sting, and it would lead to them meeting at the December pay-per-view where Sting would get the title if he was staying, or put over Christian if he wasn't. That changed greatly through the year as Jeff Jarrett changed plans, as he always does. It became about Jarrett instead of Christian, but he had pushed that when he did turn, Tomko would join him. So this has been in the works for a while.
It's crazy that he just does New Japan and TNA at the same time.
Yeah, that becomes an issue eventually, but yep.
He really does just bounce back and forth a lot.
Yeah, because, like, TNA and New Japan are obviously in bed with each other at this point. You had New Japan guys for the World X Cup back in May, and TNA guys will regularly work New Japan, including the Dome shows, for the next 4 or 5 years or so. So, like, it makes sense. There's a natural crossover there at the moment. But yeah, he just works TNA New Japan full time.
They never did anything with Bernard.
It feels like, it's funny that, like, he has an established, well-known US tag team partner. You know, like, Albert is a name guy in America. So the idea that, like, let's make Tomko's tag team partner AJ Styles. It is funny, they're like, we're doing a tag team with them, but we're not going to pluck it's not like it's Manabu Nakanishi, you know? It's not like you're plucking some random Japanese guy. It's like a guy with WWE experience, and you're like, AJ.
Maybe it was just the thing. It seems like this was kind of the plan, the coalition thing, because with the AJ turn already being, like, firmly established at this point.
It does seem like stuff is lining up. They're telling stories.
I love stories.
Following week's Impact, Christian Cage comes to the ring with Tomko. Mike Tenay says it will be Abyss versus Sting versus Christian in a 3-way match for the title at Turning Point, because technically Tomko's interference caused that Christian-Sting match last week to end in a no contest. So Christian has been rewarded for that with an NWA World title match.
Because the good guys and the medium guy want to kick the shit out of him.
So Christian formally introduces Tomko to TNA. Christian says he's undefeated, the biggest star in TNA. Maybe it'll be a single threat match because he plans to take out both Abyss and Sting before Turning Point. I'm not sure how that works. Would he have to pin himself?
It's wordplay. Don't question it.
Christian alludes to some previously unknown connection between Tomko and Abyss. Tomko apparently knows something about Abyss.
What could it be? Perhaps he is another one of Abyss's many brothers.
That's true. He's a Park. Christian refers to Abyss as a slobbering or-word. Twice this month.
You just don't expect it, you know?
You don't. You really don't.
It's like, I mean, like, It is just like looking back on things with 2025 eyes, but like you would just be watching something and then just be, oh.
Yeah, especially from Christian. I was like, there's people I might expect that from in 2006 TNA. Christian's probably not really one of them.
BG James.
Yeah, BG James could say any shit, and I would be like, yep, it's BG James.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Mitchell holds back Abyss as Christian wants him to come down, so Mitchell's the smart man. A Sting dummy descends from the rafters. A Sting looks to jump Christian and Tomko from behind. It was a distraction. Sting wants to talk to Abyss man to man, face to face later tonight, but asks Abyss to come alone.
It's so funny that like we have to split this segment up to two things on this show. Just fucking have the conversation now.
Yeah, it's like, everyone leave. I want to talk to Abyss.
Why do we have to do the fucking let's talk later bullshit?
It's a hook, you see, to get people to stay watching. Which is probably the idea. It is legitimately probably. We'll do that opening segment to be like, hang around. The Thing wants to talk to Abyss man to man.
But who is that like for? Who is in there like, oh fuck, I need to make sure I'm still here to see the Sting Abyss talking segment.
I've heard clips of the Ariel Helwani Vince Russo interview, and based on that, I think it's for the casual fan. That wrestling is apparently not serving anymore.
Okay. Let me tell you what, I couldn't give a flying fuck about the casual fan. The casual fan can go fuck off.
There was a Brian Alvarez quote this week where, like, Tony books wrestling that he likes. And I'm like, the dude is a billionaire doing a vanity project. What the fuck would be the point of him booking wrestling he doesn't like?
But, like, isn't the old adage, like, you should make things you like because then other people might like them?
That was the Jerry Jarrett idea, yeah. That, like,
if you're serving one person, you might be serving some other people, you know?
Yeah. Presumably there are wrestling fans that are the same kind of wrestling fan as you out there. You're not an isolated, like, outlier.
I don't know, man. Fuck it. Like, AEW's best television of the year is the fucking Continental Classic when it's just 6 fucking matches between guys.
And like, if you were a billionaire launching hundreds of millions into the startup of a wrestling company, what the fuck is the point of you being like, and I'm going to use that money to produce wrestling I personally don't like? Like, What the fuck is that thought process?
But also, I also think it's, like, incredibly stupid to, like, think that the casual fan, like, expects one certain thing. As if there isn't just, like, people who can watch something and then appreciate it or like it or find enjoyment out of it. Like, it can't just be wrestling for some reason. It's like it has to be a skit or some bullshit. Like, why do they think people just won't enjoy the wrestling part of wrestling?
We also think this casual fan is the dumbest person alive at all times.
Well, they think the casual fan is fucking them.
Yeah.
They think it's them. They think it's, oh, you know, you have to do fucking television. You have to do cinema. And it's like, the thing that's going to stand out to them is the dudes beating the shit out of each other because they don't actually see that on anything else. You're not going to tell better stories than what's on TV. You're not going to do better comedy than what's on TV. So, like, there's places for it, obviously, on a wrestling show, because, ironically, the people that kind of stuff serves is the people who are watching every week who will get bored of the same shit, not the new people who have never seen wrestling before. Just show them fucking wrestling!
Yeah. It's a thing that drives me crazy. But
have you never watched pro wrestling with someone who has never seen it before? Like, because it's so fucking, like, easy to see the things that stand out to them, which are, and fucking block your ears if you're a fucking 40-year vet in this industry, it's fucking flips and blood, motherfucker. They're the two things that people who have never seen wrestling before get, like, enamored with, because it's something they can't see in anything else.
There's a reason, like, Ninja Mac doing that fucking black flip spot in the Best of the Super Juniors goes more viral than your Bloodline cinema.
Yeah, it's like the reason, like, if you ever watch a show and they're like, whoa, who is this Will Ospreay guy? You know, who is this Darby Allin? Like, or they see Mox and they bleed and they're like, what the fuck is this? Is this allowed?
Yeah.
You know? Like, it's so insane to be like, yeah, the boring, annoying, lame parts of wrestling are the thing that's gonna get people in there. I truly don't, like, the thing that I don't understand is, like how has no one ever watched wrestling with a non-wrestling fan? Because that's the easiest way to see what fucking resonates with them.
And, like, here's the thing, they haven't. That's the problem.
Then stop fucking using them as an example, because you don't know.
Yeah.
You clearly don't.
All these people have been living in their same podcast bubble for 20, 30 years, never getting outside of it. Their vision of wrestling is so much more broken into them by Vince McMahon than they even know themselves. They're so like corrupted by Vince's vision that they like if they see it done any other way, they don't even know why they're rejecting it, other than they don't realize that they've been incepted by Vince's wrestling by a monopoly for 20 years. And the thing that drives me crazy is like they always talk about what somebody else might have thought. You know, somebody else might have been confused by this story. Somebody else might not have liked this or that. It's like, fucker, if I'm watching a review of something, I want to know what you think. What was your reaction?
But they don't ever have one, though.
That's the thing. They're fucking hacks. They can't think critically about stories. They can't assess these things in interesting, thoughtful ways. So they always have to invent another person out there who might have been confused or who might not have liked it, because that's how they can approach their criticism, rather than like, what was my personal response to this piece of art? What was my personal response to this story? Which is the reason, like, when we're talking about this kind of stuff a lot, I'm like, by the letter of the law, wrestling booking says you should do X, Y, Z. But like, how did I feel? What was my reaction? When I was watching Full Gear, I saw a lot of people say, well, you shouldn't put Moxley and Kyle back to back with Fletcher and Briscoe. Which is like one of those things that you're like, oh, well, wrestling booking 101, if you're to write it in a textbook, would say, don't put the two hardcore matches back to back. And then I would simply ask, in practice, what was the negative effect? Was the crowd noticeably worse? I think the crowd was about the same as it was for the whole show for those matches. Maybe a little better for those matches than it was the whole show. Arguably, the crowd was a little better for Kyle Briscoe than it was for Kyle and Mox. So, in theory, that should be flipped by the wrestling like logic. The matches, while they were based on like violence and plunder, they were very different kinds of violence and plunder. Mox and Kyle was a lot more grounded, gritty, no holds barred style, and Briscoe and Kyle
and
was...
even like, if you do want to have the opinion of like, oh, putting them back to back was a mistake, like I think you can have that opinion after you've watched them.
Yeah, and then you
when
explain
you've
why.
Seen the content of both matches. But when like you have a knee-jerk reaction to being like during the entrances and going, what are they doing? They don't know what they're doing. They're putting on two like in a row. It's like, well, you don't know, do you? You don't know what the match is going to be about. You don't know how it's going to be presented comparably between the two.
And there might be even a thematic reason why you decide to present them back to back. Who knows? Like there might be a storytelling reason why you're like, I think these two matches work as a couplet. It's like it drives me crazy that we approach so much wrestling criticism from either like a philosophical way that we don't even really understand why, or from the perspective of someone we don't know, an imaginary person we don't know that we've invented in our head.
An imaginary person who we've invented in our heads, who magically will always back up the opinion I'm trying to display.
Yes. It's funny how that works, isn't it?
And it's like, again, if you have you have a real person next to you, you're watching it, who's watching wrestling for the first time, and they have these opinions, then sure, it's a valid reason to bring it up, you know? It's going to be, at least, it's going to have some meaning, you know? But when it's just nothing, it makes no sense. It's like, who cares? You're lamenting something that doesn't exist.
Yes. Instead of saying, what did you think of the match? What did you think of the characters? What did you think of the story? How did it make you feel? That's what I want to know from a review. I don't want to know, well, you know, somebody else might have thought this was confusing. What's that fucking useful for?
Yeah.
Later in the show, Sting comes out for a conversation with Abyss.
I think someone might have been confused that this segment was happening because they didn't see the first part of it.
Yeah, what if you only tuned in halfway through the show and you have no idea why Sting is talking? Why didn't they play a video package right beforehand to recap what happened?
That's true. Video package would have solved this.
Abyss follows alone, no James Mitchell. Sting has a chair for Abyss. Abyss doesn't take the chair. Sting hypes Abyss up about how he's a great athlete and a champion, but then asks, why do you let Mitchell lead you around? Is he looking for someone to lead him out of the torment and pain he's in 24/7? This causes Abyss to take the chair.
Damn, he had to really reflect upon this.
Or does Abyss want to be his own champion and his own man now? He then leans in and he calls Abyss Chris. It's Chris Abyss.
It's Abyss Christopher.
We get his shoot name for the first time. He is named Chris. Which, usually I have a problem with them doing shoot names like that.
But when it's like a monster character,
When he's like an unknown guy behind a mask called Abyss, I'm like, all right, I understand you. I know what you're going for here. As opposed to like the thing here is not that like, ooh, it's Insider. I know you're. It's like, oh, you're trying to connect with them as a human because you're trying to connect with the human, not the monster. So good, thumbs up.
it's like if like he was doing the same segment because she's like, okay, Will.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, what do you want from him, man?
Abyss looked up when Sting called him Chris. Mitchell appears on the Tron and calls Abyss an animal. Abyss like reaches out longingly to Mitchell when he appears on the Tron and then clutches the NWA title, which I thought was like some really good physical drama from Abyss.
Yeah. And again, like, we're not saying like dramatic tension and storytelling in wrestling is bad. It can be good.
Yes, most people just do it badly.
I just think that, like, if you want to take this show for example, it's like, it's the first time watching. I don't think they're going to care about, like, Abyss longingly grasping the title or looking towards Mitchell more than they're going to care about, like, them swinging chairs.
Yep.
I think one of those things will resonate more than the other for the quote-unquote casual fan.
Yeah, that's it. If this is the first segment you've ever watched, you're not going to be like, oh, that was a really good, like, bit of nuanced character work from Abyss. You know, you're not going to understand it.
That's what I find interesting about, like, that whole sort of talking point that we hear. It's like, I feel like all of the points that you make are like, these are like parts of the show that are good and are useful, but I feel like they serve the long-standing fan more than they do a theoretical casual fan.
Mitchell says before Sting starts trying to save souls, he suggests Sting starts with his own. Sting encourages Abyss to make his own choices and leaves. Christian and Tomko jump Abyss. Tomko drops Abyss with the Argentine neckbreaker, which is very impressive. That's the torture rack into a neckbreaker move, which is awesome again. Another great big man move, and even better doing it on a guy the size of Abyss. Before Sting comes back in to run them off. Sting offers Abyss a hand. Abyss looks conflicted as Mitchell comes out and slaps Sting before leading Abyss away.
Well, but like, think about the fan who doesn't know that Sting was a horrible drug addict in the 90s.
Yes, you're like, why are they talking about how Sting, the ultimate babyface, who was presented as like the heroic Avenger character for his entire career, is like, oh, you love the allure of the inside of wrestling, don't you, Sting? That makes no sense to them. But we do not care about casual fans.
No, I'm gonna stop barking about it now because it's gonna become repetitive and annoying. But like, it is just, I don't know. Why do we like even let this be? I guess I'm sick of wrestling's talking points being the same 5 fucking things as that it has been for like a decade now. Like, what are we doing? Yeah, I wish we could just like analyze these shows with artistic merit instead of like useless, benign bullshit.
And it's a thing like going back and reading all of these torches and all of these observers. It's like same shit. It's just, and it's not like the wrestling is different.
Like, it's just different fucking buzz like words and different phrases.
Because we don't have like good, interesting critics of wrestling and interesting people who think about wrestling on a level deeper than what if somebody in Iowa was confused. Go Home Impact. We have a video feature in which Mitchell, Christian, and Sting discuss Abyss. Tomko knows a secret. Sting sees a human being in there, and Mitchell thinks Sting and an army of angels couldn't take Abyss.
Which I think is a good line.
Later in the show, Cornette's in the ring. He makes a couple of matches official for the pay-per-view before Christian interrupts him. Jim seems to be busy preventing people's First Amendment rights lately, that he's not doing his job, says Christian. Suggests there's something in Abyss's background that would make Jim Cornette's stomach churn. Christian goes on to tell Abyss's story, but Abyss hits the ring and runs wild. Tomko drops Abyss with a boot, and they beat on Abyss until Sting makes the save. Sting, once again, offers a hand to Abyss. Abyss accepts it and pulls him into a black hole slam.
It's a good bit.
It's the second time he did that. He did that to Jarrett last year in like the King of the Mountain build, if you remember, when they were trying to recruit him. It's always a great spot to be like, handshake, black hole slam.
Nah. Actually, I know what Abyss did.
What do you think Abyss did?
I know what it was.
What was it?
See, he went to prom, right?
Yeah.
And he was driving home, and there was this girl in the front seat with him. She started giving him roadhead. And then he crashed the car. Yeah, and then what he did was he just got out of that car and he fucking left.
No.
Yep. And then he started hanging out with Cody Rhodes.
Right.
And you won't believe what happens next.
What happens next?
But he turns on Cody Rhodes.
What?
And then brings this guy called Wardlow in. Yeah. And boy, does that go places.
This is war.
Wardlow vs. Abyss would have been perfect.
I forgot about that story.
The closest thing AEW's gotten to a Katie Vick angle.
I like how that's just fucking AEW canon now, by the way.
Yeah, MJF got roadhead and almost killed a woman.
Yeah, it's just, and now he was a babyface afterwards.
Like, pretty quickly afterwards, wasn't it? Wasn't it like, that wasn't too far off the turn.
Yeah, that's so funny. How does Tomko know about this is the question.
Well, let me tell you. He was actually a first responder.
Oh, good, that's nice.
Yeah, he was an ambulance driver in Long Island, New York.
You saw MJF run away.
saw
Sorry,
Abyss.
Abyss. Oh, sorry. I'm mixing up stories.
What's Tyson Tomko up to?
I think he's had a rough run of it.
Oh,
He had a rough stretch post TNA because he did that TNA return in like 2009 2010 when they were doing like the story where he was attacking AJ that got dropped when Hogan came in, and then he kind of I think he had a tough time after that, but he seems to be doing okay now, I think.
his last match was in 2013.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's not great.
In this toilet story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, seems he has some businesses. So hopefully that's going well for him.
I hope his life is going okay after that.
I truly wish nothing but the best for Tyson Tomko.
Shout out to my boy.
Does he have like a Twitter?
I think he has an Instagram. Because the anniversary of his debut was actually like last week. I can tell you when it was. It was on these shows. I have the date in front of me. November 23rd. So yeah, it was last week.
Travis Tomko Real. He's got a nice beard.
Right.
Alright. Let me deep dive into Tyson Tomko.
And his Instagram, see what's happening.
He went with Post Malone.
Oh.
That's not good for him.
Enjoying culture.
Yeah, I don't know. Doing some stuff. He's living a regular life fishing. So I hope he's doing well.
It is the dream.
Yeah, good on you, Tyson Tomko.
Not even 50 yet, which is crazy.
Yeah, I hope you are content in this world.
That is all we can ask for.
If you want to come on the podcast and talk about TNA, feel free.
Yeah, open door for Tomko.
We are big Tomko heads.
The main event of this Impact is the six-way match that did have Abyss, Sting, and Christian all in it. So that was your pay-per-view go-home segment as well.
We call it the Tom Coalition here.
Yeah, we don't respect Christian Cage. It's better wordplay. Tom Coalition's better wordplay.
A little forced.
That brings us to Turning Point, in which Abyss defeats Sting and Christian Cage to retain the NWA World Title.
This wasn't an awful match.
I liked it. I thought it was like well worked. There's a little bit of clumsiness here and there, but like these are three good heavyweight wrestlers having a pretty good heavyweight title match.
Yeah, felt bad that they got cut by Joe and Angle again.
Yeah, second month in a row that they're put behind Angle Joe. And like the first month you do get it. It's Angle Joe first time. This is the month where the title match could have went on last.
Yeah.
JB has Christian before the match. Christian mocks the idea that Abyss is a man. This isn't about saving souls. This is about Christian. He wants to regain something he never lost. Tomko knows Abyss's dirty secret. They don't want to reveal it because it's embarrassing. But maybe, just maybe, if Christian doesn't leave as NWA champ, they'll have to say it.
Wow. It's just, I like the, it's just embarrassing.
Yeah.
It's not like life changing or anything. It's not going to like ruin him. It's just like somewhat uncomfortable to be out there.
But he was suggesting to Cornette it's the kind of reason that would have required dismissal. And now he's like down to like, it's actually, it's just, it's a little awkward.
Maybe he's implying it's embarrassing for the company. Which would imply that it is something more nefarious.
But I thought Abyss was birthed from a portal back in 2003.
Yeah. Maybe he killed Lollipop.
Do you think Goldilocks knew the secret?
Yes, because she knows all.
She does. She's very smart.
Yeah. Lollipop? Fuck, I keep saying Lollipop when I mean Goldilocks. Goldilocks.
But maybe he did kill Lollipop.
Yeah, as I was thinking, but like I was like, Goldilocks would be perfect for the Christian Coalition.
She should be in it, especially as like the movie star Goldilocks character.
Yeah.
The darling.
She was doing Timeless Tony Storm before Tony.
That's the realization I just had. Did Timeless Tony Storm take it from Goldilocks?
I assure you she doesn't know who Goldilocks is.
I think she does. I think she's a secret sicko.
Do you think she was watching her NWA-TNA tapes?
She was listening to this show is what I think happened.
Tony, if you want to come on the podcast, talk about some TNA, feel free.
I think those timelines loosely add up.
I think they're timeless.
Sting hits a big dive off the top onto Abyss and Christian on the floor, starting Sting. Actually, no, he did a dive off the King of the Mountain penalty box as well this year. So even this year, Sting is like, can I jump off things? I would like to jump off things.
He's always been a bit of a freak for it.
Sting hits an electric chair on Abyss. The Tower of Doom superplexes Christian. Sting hits the Scorpion on Christian, but Tomko pulls the referee out. Abyss clears out Tomko, press slams Christian to the floor. My favorite part of that is Tomko is like 3 feet to the left of Christian as he's being press slammed to the floor. Does not try and catch him or intervene in any way.
I mean, why would you?
He's just like, yeah, you can eat that shit. I'm fine.
Yeah. He wants to win the match, Garrett.
Abyss lays out the tacks, but Tomko curb stomps Abyss's head into them.
Burn it down.
Abyss black hole slams Sting into Christian, but misses the tacks for the win. He also kind of missed Christian a little bit. It was a great idea for a finish. You saw exactly what they wanted, and it just didn't hit. But I am glad at least that Abyss has 2 months as NWA World Champion.
Yeah, it does. Something works, you know? Like, it is a good footnote to exist.
And at least, like, it would have sucked, like, not only the way he won the belt, but if he had lost it 3 weeks later, not even like a full pay-per-view cycle, like you had 3 weeks as champ, it would have really sucked. I'd like to have a Rhino-esque reign as NWA World Champ. So at least he had one pay-per-view successful retention.
In my head, just gotta get in the books.
And he beat Sting back to back. He pinned him this month.
Yeah, after a perfect finish. That went exactly the way everyone intended.
Well, at least he pinned him. He pinned Sting.
Yeah, he did pin Sting.